Hello, in this video we are going to find d over dx of sine of x. Okay, so to start off we're going to define d over dx. d over dx is the slope of the tangent line of some function. So for example, if we have this function right here, and we're looking at this point right here, the tangent line of it, the line that the slope of that point line, that is d over dx. Now the way that we find this is we use smaller and smaller lines between 2 points. So the slope between these two far points you can see is different from the slope of this point. But as the 2 points get closer and closer and closer together, it will become closer and closer and closer to the tangent line. So I'm going to label 2 points here. One will be x comma f of x. That's like the x and the y coordinate. And then this will be over some, and then up whatever that over is. Okay, so now to find the slope of these 2 points, again, h is going to be some very small number, or specifically the limit as h goes to 0. It will be the difference between the two y's divided by the difference between the two x's. So it's f of x plus h minus f of x divided by x plus h minus x. These two cancel out. I'm left with f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Okay, now I'm going to do something, well, first, before I do that, we just defined d over d of x for some function that looks like this, but we need to now define it for sine of x. So I'm going to replace all the f's with the sine, so now we're going to have sine of x plus h minus sine of x plus h minus sine of x divided by h. And this is, of course, as h approaches 0, so that we have smaller and smaller, smaller values of h, sorry. Okay, now I'm going to do something that seems a little stupid, but it's going to make sense in a bit. I'm just going to rewrite this by adding more terms, okay? I'm going to rewrite it as sine of x cosine h plus cosine x sine of h. Now, I hope that you all recognize this. This is just the expansion of sine of x plus h. It may seem a little extraneous, but if you have a good intuition, you'll see how this makes a lot of sense. Because you might right now be a little stuck here like, shoot, well, at least this is factored, this is expanded, this does me no good, but you'll see we are able to push this into a cool little equation. We can say that this is equal to the limit as h equals 0 of sine of x times cosine h minus 1 over h plus sine of h over h times cosine of x. As you can see, we took this part right here and this part right here as one fraction, and then we broke up this part into sine of h over h times cosine of x. And now we know that for lower and lower and lower values of h, this function will become close to 0. So this is equal to the limit as h approaches 0 of, now we have 0 plus sine of h over h, and that by definition is equal to 1, so it's 1 times cosine x. So that means d over dx of sine of x is equal to cosine of x. So sine prime of x, which is another way of saying this, is equal to cosine x. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.